Hey, wrestling fans, welcome to the One Wing Wrestling Podcast, where we help you navigate the complex world of pro wrestling, bring you the best matches, world class wrestlers, and news you can count on. At One Wing Wrestling, we bring the elite to you. My name is Krishna and join me, as always, is Mr. Bill Cutbush. Bill, how's it going?
It is going. It is positive. It is good energy tonight. It is Bill, the grateful guy tonight. Tonight is one of those nights where I'm going to find something positive about every single thing that happens on AEW tonight. I
Okay.
am in that
All right.
kind of mood. It's been a good day. It's been a sunny day. It's been a hot day, but I am grateful to be here. There's been so much good wrestling over the last few days, most of it stardom, and it's just been insane. So yeah. How are you doing?
Good, good. I almost had to tell you that, hey, I might be sporadically in and out of the wrestling show tonight. So you might have to cover a bit for me because I thought my nieces were coming over who were cause a ruckus with everything, but they changed their minds. They're coming over tomorrow. So we're all good, all good.
It's
Uh,
because I called them up and threatened them. You know that, right? I'm
yeah,
like,
of course,
listen,
of course,
kids, we got
of course.
wrestling to
I
watch.
know that's the weird thing, right? Because I'm like when you were like, there's so much good wrestling to watch. I'm like, you know what I want to do? I want to play AEW Fight Forever. That's what I want to do.
Tomorrow is my day, dude.
Oh, good luck.
I'm gonna
Good
get
luck.
some time tomorrow.
Patches in. I've heard. So hopefully it's up and running.
See, I waited long enough to avoid the frustration, right?
Yeah, you
See,
you really did. You really did. And yeah, I'm excited next week to hear your thoughts on the game. So
indeed, indeed. Yes, and there will be thoughts. But right now, I'm going to tell you, they will all be positive because that's the mood I'm in tonight.
it's good.
And it's good because we have an episode of AEW Dynamite to look at tonight. This is our
Hmm.
Dynamite review show and prediction show. Because first, we're going to predict this bad boy that's coming to us from Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And I know Rogers Place. It confused me for a minute too because I'm used to the Rogers Center here, but this is
Hmm.
Rogers Place, and I'm like, that's very close. Anyway, not surprisingly, Rogers probably has a name on 300 buildings in
They
Canada.
do. They
So
do.
yeah,
Just like Scotiabank and stuff like that. But you're like, wait,
yeah.
there's a Scotiabank Arena and the Scotiabank Stadium. And you're like, come on, guys, can you not think of other names to use? Like, I
Well, they
get it. You
want their
sponsor it. Yeah.
brand.
I
Yeah,
get it.
whatever.
I get it.
Anyway, it's coming to us from Scotiabank or Scotiabank Place, Rogers Place in Edmonton. And we are going to predict the show. We're going to tell you what we think might be good, what we think might be not so good. Which of course tonight means everything's going to be good because I am Captain Positivity. And we will let you know if we think that anything is going to reach that all important Omega level. Then we're going to go watch the show, come back, and find out if we were correct. Do the matches line up the way we thought they were going to in terms of good to okay? Did anything reach the Omega level? We'll find out. I have some very quick news before we dive into Dynamite, though, some very AEW dependent news because we had New Japan Independence Day, Strong Independence Day Night 2 today, and there were three major AEW talents involved in this. And just quick, if you don't want spoilers, fast forward for the next 2 minutes. Thanks. Just look for the predictions thing, the predictions timestamp and the stuff, and go to that. But anyway, we had John Moxley defeating El Desperado in his second death match in 2 days. Because, that's Mox. Then Eddie Kingston defeated. Why am I completely suddenly Kenta? I'm like, wait, why am I blanking on his name? Oh well, this happens, people. Seniors moment, even though I'm not a senior. So yes, Eddie Kingston defeated Kenta to become the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship. And if you haven't seen his reaction to winning the title, I sent you that
Mm-hmm.
short clip, right? What did
Mm-hmm.
you think?
It's Eddie Kingston. It's you have to remember that like even though we know wrestling is
Mm-hmm.
scripted, like
Mm-hmm.
this is his dream. Like this guy's living his dream. Like he talks about that Jun Akiyama match, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
remember he's like I've gone to wrestling after watching June. He wrestles him, he
Mm-hmm.
beats him, and then he breaks down in tears.
Yep.
Right. So yeah, right? We always joke wrestling is real for Eddie Kingston. It is real for him,
Yes.
it's his life. So
Yep.
I
And
love
now
Eddie Kingston.
and now he heads off to do the G1.
Yeah.
You know,
I
that's
was
gonna
I, kind of shocked he beat Kenta, right?
Yeah, me too.
Because quickly, like you look at Eddie Kingston's path right now in AEW, kind of a mid card guy at the moment, right? Not really doing much. He beat Kenta. Kenta's still really good, right?
Yes.
So that's kudos to Kenta for that match as well. Like we have to give kudos where it's deserved. So, but yeah, Eddie Kingston, man, like who would have thought we would have been like absolutely like I'm so impressed with Eddie Kingston and what he means to like wrestling in general, right?
Oh yeah, the guy's amazing. Yeah, he's amazing. I love Eddie Kingston, and his passion is everything. Seriously,
it's
I know. That's why I love him. He's just so like wrestling is life to him, and like it comes across in everything he does. So yeah, congrats Eddie Kingston. Congrats.
Eddie.
And then Willow Nightingale lost the New Japan Strong Women's title to Julia, who is now the New Japan Strong Women's Champion. Yes.
We knew this was gonna happen. Like, we predicted it was gonna happen, right? Like, there was no way that. Like, listen, I get it. I get the obsession with Willow. She's like just a ball of fun energy, right? But she's still, she still needs to get some reps in. You know what I mean? Like she's good. She's good. She's been doing this for a bit, but not as much as the ladies from like Stardom, right? And I mean, if she beat Julia again. Because she beat Julia the night before, right?
Well, yeah, but she pinned Tekla.
Oh, Tekla, sorry. Yeah. She won the match the night before.
Yes.
But yeah, I was like, it's only a matter of time. Like this. So hey, good on. Maybe does this explain why Julia didn't have a belt? Is this kind of like
partly? I mean, sure, if they're going to send her off to do this now, and then, but the 5 stars coming up, so they do their 5-star Grand Prix, and that's their version of the G1 in Stardom, and that's coming up before too long too.
But doesn't the New Japan Strong belts, isn't that defended
in North America
as well? Yes.
Well, Julia's expressed a lot of interest in working in North America. So, so yeah. So yeah, she'll be around. This is good news. So once that match is put up on the on-demand feed on New Japan Strong, I will be reviewing it. So anyway, to get back to Dynamite, this is where your timestamp came in for those of you who didn't want the spoilers. We have 2 segments and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches announced now. 5 matches. So we will be hearing from Jon Moxley, who I imagine is still in Japan.
Yeah. I guess he's gonna keep promoting Blood and Guts is my assumption what this is all about. He's AEW's MVP, so I mean that's probably what it is. So yeah, that's what I assume it's gonna be. Right?
I got a feeling it'll be live from Japan or it'll be a pre-tape.
Yeah, pre-tape.
I'm gonna lean pre-tape, so we're probably gonna get a pre-tape from Jon Moxley, which is fine. Which means he won't be in the building, and they'll make a thing about that, etc. Which means Wheeler Yuta won't have Jon Moxley as backup tonight. So we will also hear from Chris Jericho.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm not sure what we're going to hear from Jericho. I mean, last week's match, the whole Sting thing, he lost his Sting. Maybe that's what it is, right? Maybe he's gonna be angry about that, or maybe he's gonna call out Sammy. Are you with me or against me, or who knows what Jericho's gonna do right now? But yeah, I'm curious to find out what he's gonna say.
Where's my partner for the blind tag team tournament?
Oh yeah, where's my partner? Exactly. Is it Sammy? No, probably not. But
no, I think it'd be great if his partner was Sting.
That would be awesome.
It would be awesome.
I didn't even think about that. That would be so much fun.
I know.
They hate it because Jericho is he plays the I hate you so well, right? So yeah, actually I never thought about that. I actually hope they go with that.
Yeah, me too, because they still have 1, 2, 4 more teams that they can put together. Because if these are quarterfinals and we're getting 2 quarterfinal matches tonight, then right, that quarterfinal means you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 teams, right? Because 8 teams goes down to 4 teams for the semis and then 2 teams for the finals, right?
Yeah.
So we need 4 more teams announced for this thing. So Chris Jericho could quite likely get a tag team partner, and if it's Sting, that will be freaking awesome.
Perfect.
Absolutely perfect. I want to see these 2 guys tag so bad. Tony, if you're listening, make them tag.
Do it. Do it.
Okay. Then our 5 matches, and we will start off with one that was just announced in the last half hour. We have the Acclaimed, Max Caster and Anthony Bowens and Daddy Ass in a trios match taking on the Blade and the Bollywood Boys, most recently of Progress in Defy
Wow.
in Toronto.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yep.
Interesting match. The unfortunate thing is I'm looking at these matches tonight, and I might have to give that one the last spot because I just like, I like the Acclaim, how they wrestle. The Bollywood boys are good. Blade's good.
Mhm.
But I'm looking at all the other matches and I don't see one that I think is going to be like there was one I was like maybe, but no, I think those two are going to actually do a good job. So I'm going to give this one the last spot. Is that
Yeah,
number
me
6?
too. And it's number 5.
Oh, number 5. Sorry.
And it's not because I think it's going to be a bad match. I
No.
mean, I don't love the Acclaim's gimmick, but hey, they're decent in the ring.
Yep.
I don't love Billy Gunn, but he's he plays his part in the ring, right? Bollywood Boys are great, and the Blade is awesome. So it has a potential to be a decent wrestling match, but I think there's going to be shenanigans and it's an Acclaimed match. So, I'm sure the crowd will have a lot of fun with it and stuff. And I don't think it's going to suck. But in a lineup again in AEW, this comes in 5th.
Yeah, agreed.
Then we get the reunion of Swerve and Our Glory, Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland taking on the blind tag team of, I don't mean they're actually blind, they can both see, Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin in a quarterfinal match.
This is going to be an interesting match. I gave this match my number 2 match because I'm like, I like all these guys. And I'm very curious where they're going down with this Swerve and Keith Lee thing. Like as you said, hey, Keith Lee joins the the turns heel. It's a possibility. If that happens, that's the tag team we've been waiting for, right? I mean, we saw them, then they broke up, and then nothing happened. They were like attacking each other, and then nothing happened. So, if Keith Lee joins, this kind of explains everything, right? If he turns heel, that kind of makes sense story-wise. If he doesn't, and they just end up beating each other up, I'm gonna be like, that's stupid. Like this is just dumb. But I gave my number 2 spot because of just the people involved in it.
Oh yeah, it's number 2 for me too. Yeah. It's got to be because you've got Swerve and Our Glory who are great. You have Cassidy and Allin, both of whom are great. And you've got an interesting story floating around this one, right? So, plus you've got like the international champion there. So you might have potential for various setups for various title matches that coming out of this match too. So, who do you think's winning this?
I actually want Swerve and Lee to win it.
Yes, me too. I think that's quite possible because I think Lee could pin Allin or something like that. I don't think they're going to pin the unless they're trying to get a match for Orange Cassidy out of it. And then someone might pin Orange Cassidy. Maybe Keith Lee pins Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, well, the belt's not on the line, right? So
yep, exactly. So we'll see. But I think the fact that Orange Cassidy is like storyline beaten up will play into this as well.
Yeah.
Okay, then we have another blind eliminator tag tournament quarterfinal match. We have MJF and Adam Cole versus the newly announced tag team of Daddy Magic and the Butcher.
That's an odd team. Oh my, that one literally sounds like a blind like pick, right?
Yeah.
I gave this my number 3 spot because I want to see what MJF and Cole can do. Because they're gonna play that we can't get along. They might go all the way and win this entire tournament, which I actually kind of want because I'm like, it keeps Cole away from the belts. I would love to see the belts on them. Actually, not gonna lie, right? But yeah, no, I think this is gonna be my number 3 spot, and I think MJF and Cole are winning. There's no way they're not winning this match.
Yeah, it's Daddy Magic and the Butcher. They're not going to lose to Daddy Magic and the Butcher, so they're gonna win. I think it's gonna be a fun match. They've got Daddy Magic and the Butcher. That's comedy waiting to happen. You have like the no nonsense, super tough big guy and Daddy Magic, who will probably flip on the Butcher anytime something goes wrong.
Yeah.
So this has a whole lot of like shenanigans, but the good kind of shenanigans all over with MJF and Adam Cole, and MJF probably going to try to steal pins and stuff, and yeah, so yeah, this could actually be quite entertaining. So this could be a very good match, but still number 3 because we have such great stuff coming up. Then we have Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D versus Ruby Soho in an Owen Hart Foundation tournament match.
Yeah, the match was canceled last week. So this is my number 4 spot, obviously by elimination. Nothing bad about this match. I think this will be a good showing for both Britt and Ruby. Listen, last week's promo that Ruby cut, I liked it. I like this. I like the bad Ruby Soho. So yeah, it's do we see returning Jamie Hayter anytime soon, or is she actually out? She's probably still out, right? But yeah, no, this is going to be interesting because the Outcasts are going to be at ringside. They're going to be causing distraction. Who comes out to help? Is it going to be Shida? Does she come out to help her? Like, a lot of things up in the air, right? So yep. This match, I think it's going to be both these ladies are great, but it just falls into number 4 just based on. It's funny. We didn't even talk about the final match, but I said by elimination, this fall it goes into number 4.
Yes, of course, because I mean, anyone who knows the lineup for tonight knows what the match is, and anyone who knows us knows what we're both picking as the number 1 match. So yeah, this is number 4, but this match to me has strong potential to move up.
Agreed.
Because the other these 2 women can kill it.
Yeah, and the other ones have shenanigans. Then yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and this could have shenanigans too, though, right?
It could.
So we'll see what happens. There's a lot of shenanigan matches, and like that. But that's okay because sometimes you gotta have the shenanigan matches to make you appreciate the one-on-one matches, right? That's my positive spin on it. So there you go. And finally we have Kenny Omega, the god of wrestling himself, taking on Wheeler Yuta, the asshole of the Black Combat Club.
Okay, like everything about this match, like we get a returning Kenny Omega from his non-injury he had. We get I'm just hoping we actually get to hear Wheeler Yuta's music because I love his theme music and they never play it. I hope he does. Claudio is still here. Yeah, so Claudio is going to accompany him to the ring
for sure.
This match is going to be like Kenny is gonna kill Wheeler tonight. Like he's going to murder him today. And good on Wheeler Yuta. I'm so glad he's getting like these matches with remember he pinned Kenny Omega, right? In the what was it called? The Anarchy in the Arena, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Anarchy in the Arena. Yeah, he pinned Kenny Omega.
Hey,
Kenny's coming back, right? Kenny's coming for revenge. Do the Bucks show up? Are the Bucks even there? Are the Elite on the show, right? These are things like I'm very curious about what's gonna happen. Takeshita. Oh my goodness, Takeshita. I cannot wait for Kenny versus Takeshita.
I know.
But that's like a pay-per-view match. But like I think Kenny's winning this match. I'm so happy Wheeler Yuta is getting some reps in with Kenny Omega. This is and not on dark or anything like that. It's legit. Like this is gonna be the main event. This has to be the main event. So yeah, this match is gonna rock.
You know what they're gonna make as the main event, right? The MJF Adam Cole match.
Oh yeah, you're right.
This will probably open the show.
You're right. It's probably
or the 9 o'clock match. It'll be one of those 2, but it won't be the closer.
That'll be quite the mistake. But I mean, hey, that's fine.
I know it's always a mistake not to put Kenny Omega on last. So we'll see what they do.
They do this with Rampage as well. They always put like the best match at the beginning of the show, right? So. Okay, if that's a trend, then I'm okay with this being first.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, I know. And then we can watch Kenny Omega beat Wheeler Yuta with the Tiger Driver 91.
Oh my goodness, he's not going to do it. He's definitely.
That would be hilarious. I think it'd be great. It would send such a statement, right? Like, would all you guys stop whining?
He's gonna pin him with a one winged angel. And just to show that the only person that kicks out of the one winged angel is Kenny Omega.
That's not because Will didn't know how to do it properly because it's Kenny's move.
That's true. The funny thing, just off topic quickly, not really off topic, but on topic. I figured out how to steal everyone's finishers in the game. So all I've been doing is stealing everyone's finishers. It's funny watching Kenny do like everybody's finisher. So like he'll power bomb Wardlow. He does like the Judas effect too. No, does he do Judas? No. The thing about about Jericho's finisher is that if
Mm.
you do the regular finisher, he does the wall. So Kenny did the walls on Jericho and tapped out Jericho with the walls of Jericho. Which
Nice.
is,
Well, of course,
but
he's
yeah,
Kenny Omega.
this is Kenny Omega. But yeah, it's really funny because it adds like variety to the game, right? Because you're like, oh, I can instead do their moves. So
You mean in my game when Yuka Sakazaki hits Kenny Omega with the
with
one-winged
one wing
angel and
angel
pins
and
him?
pins him. Oh my god, I was playing like I was going through a story mode and I was
Yeah.
still playing on the easy,
Yeah.
and there was a match against Pac and the Death Triangle came in and they beat the absolute crap out of me. I lost the belt. I was like, what the hell, man? I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't figure out how to like
Nice.
do stuff, and I'm like, whatever, it's all good. It's all good.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, fun
Anyway,
times.
I look forward to trying this out tomorrow. But for now, we have an episode of Dynamite to go watch.
Dynamite.
So we are going to go watch that episode, and then we will come back and we will review it with all of you. But to all of you right now, it's going to seem like we were never gone. And that was Dynamite. And it came to us tonight from Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. We had Tony, Taz, and Excalibur on commentary as always. And rather than start off with a match, we actually start off by going to the back with Renee. And she's back there with Darby Allin and Keith Lee. And Renee says, Darby, you requested this time. And Darby turns to Keith Lee and says, I know you don't want to team with Swerve, but you are one of the most dominant champions here. Pull your head out of your ass, do something about it, or sit on the apron and cry about it. Your choice. He leaves. Keith Lee says, ballsy, stupid, but ballsy. And that brings us to Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland, Swerve in Our Glory, even though they're not calling themselves that, but they should, versus Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin in a blind eliminator tag team tournament quarterfinal match. This story was basically twofold at this point. Darby, did he fire up Lee or not? And the relationship between Lee and Strickland. But Darby slaps Lee to start, and Lee kills him until Cassidy tags in. And Lee kills him too until he gets double teamed. But then Swerve tags himself in, and the match ramps up speed wise as Swerve and Darby go at it. Swerve goes back and forth with Allin and Cassidy until Swerve makes the tag. We get Lee and Strickland tagging each other in hard tags until Lee hits a Tower of Doom, sending Swerve and Darby out of the ring. Swerve, there's a spot here now where Swerve puts the steps on top of Darby Allin, like on top of him across his gut. And then Cassidy nails a tope suicide on Swerve, but then Lee comes out, picks Cassidy up, and carries him up the stairs with Darby under the stairs. That looked terrible. Darby was screaming the whole time. Lee counters Cassidy, though, a couple times. He hits, but Cassidy hits 2 stun dogs. Darby hits the code red on Lee, which was pretty impressive. Cassidy covers him, but now we get the thing. Swerve tries to break up this pin with a 450 splash. Cassidy moves. Swerve nails Lee. Get another mix-up. Swerve hitting Lee with a high kick. Cassidy nails a spinning DDT to Lee on the floor. Allin locks the Last Supper on Swerve, and we get the 3. What'd you think?
This match was great. I mean, I thought everything up until the finish was great. I just didn't like the finish. I thought, again, this is such a stupid storyline. They're continuing, so Keith Lee's just good, just dumb. It's just nonsense. To the point where I actually don't care about Keith Lee's character or anything he does in AEW. So up until then, great. After that, it's like meh, whatever. So I did not like the finish. But the match itself, I mean, it still came into my number 2 spot.
It was my number 2 too, but this is positivity night, Krishna. Positivity night. So I'm going to look at this match and go, do you know what this made me do? It made me grateful for the Swerve in Our Glory tag team back when they used to get along and kill people. So there was a brief moment of nostalgia where I was like, this was pretty great. And then I realized that what this really means for our television is we're going to get see more of Swerve Strickland, because he's going to continue to be in this feud with Keith Lee, apparently, until the end of the year at least. Someday, they may have a singles match. Today is not that day. But no, actually, I enjoyed the match quite a bit. It was a really solid match. I mean, the whole dynamic was great, right? I mean, when Swerve stepped in and the speed went up to like 100 all of a sudden, it was like, holy crap. Like out of nowhere, this match is ramped up. But yeah, solid stuff. Then we get a video, a Nick Wayne video. Nick Wayne being introduced by Darby Allin. And Darby notes that Buddy Wayne, Nick's father, was Darby's trainer. And when Buddy died, Darby swore to watch over Nick. Age 16, he offered Nick a contract with AEW. And it's not a favor to him, not because he was watching out, but it's because he's that good in the ring and he earned it.
Yeah, no, this is a great two great segments by Darby. First off, kind of like calling out what's it called Keith Lee at the beginning. I was like, wow, okay. And this telling the backstory of Nick Wayne, that was actually really, really nice. And yeah, I remember Darby giving Nick Wayne that contract. So yeah, the kid's he's 18 now. We're gonna find out where his first match is. But yeah, no, this was a good segment.
Well, we did find out what his first match is next week on Dynamite against Swerve Strickland.
Strickland, yep.
Yep. So, and that continues their age-old feud. So very cool, very cool. Then we get a Hook and Jack Perry recap from last week, and we find Tony Schiavone is now in the parking garage because Jack Perry's pulling up in his giant SUV. And Perry says to him, I'm not a thug from New York. Professionals do it in the ring. He's going to go to Tony and demand an FTW title match. And then Hook jumps him. But Perry gets in the car and leaves again. And that's the last we hear from either one of them for the night. Comments?
Yeah, the same thing. The same thing happened last week. Like I thought something else was going to happen, but okay. Like this is nothing. Like absolutely nothing happened. Like
yes.
I guess Hook got his hands on Perry for like a couple shots, and that was it.
Yep. I'm grateful for segments like these because they're very short and move the show along.
Very short. Yes. They're very short, exactly. Yes.
Because then we got a Cole and MJF recap from last week, a video of them training together. Cole doesn't really spot him on the bar, even though Max asks him. Max tells fat jokes about a guy in the gym, and Cole stops him. But then they both say he reminds them of Tony Schiavone, which is just mean. Okay, guys, mean. Then Cole lifts more weight than MJF, or for longer anyway, shocking MJF and the big guy that they were making fun of.
Yeah, no, this was funny. Like MJF, like I love, even though that this is a pre-taped segment. MJF telling the fat jokes, you could see that Cole was trying his hardest to stay in character, yes, but he was like smiling the entire time. Yeah, no, this is great. I love this. These two, I mean, together. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it's MJF that's really the gold in this entire thing. Like I am watching it, I'm like, Adam Cole still, again, he's not impressing me with his promos and stuff like that. Like I'm giving all the credit to MJF here.
I am giving half the credit to MJF because every good comedian will tell you that a good comedian for comedic timing needs a good straight man. And Adam Cole is playing that straight man perfectly. The not selling nothing. I mean, that's the whole point. He's playing white bread guy to MJF's fun guy. But you know where this is going? I'm going to tell you where this is going, right? Because right at the end of that segment, Adam Cole and MJF had a little moment where they're both like Tony Schiavone, right? The thing is, Adam Cole is trying his hardest to resist liking this dude, right? Trying his hardest. This is just the beginning of something I think is going to go on for a lot longer. And if they don't, guys, this is the best tag team in AEW right now in terms of sheer entertainment value. So please keep it going. I do not find Adam Cole boring in this. I think he's playing his role quite well. I actually have enjoyed him in this, but for me, it's not 100% MJF, but MJF is doing a stellar job. So good job, both guys. See, it's positivity night, Krishna. Positivity night.
MJF. I like MJF is growing on me again. Like just by the way, I know what's obviously I think obviously Tony Khan has stepped in, but like his commitment to AEW is clearly showing now. And I'm enjoying this because I don't hear any bidding wars or anything like that. And this is just him being good now. And I'm like, I like this. I actually like this a lot.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying MJF right now too, because he's with Adam Cole. Then we have the Acclaimed, Max Caster and Anthony Bowens and Daddy Ass taking on the Blade and the Bollywood Boys. Now, Gurv and Harv Sihra. Now, I would like to point out that we got the Blade, like the commercial break happened, and I could hear the noise from inside the arena still, and we got the Blade and the Bollywood Boys introduced during the break.
Yep.
So you heard the theme music. They came out. They announced the Bollywood Boys as being from Punjab, India. I guess they didn't want them to seem like hometown boys or like
Yeah.
Canadians because, guys, they're from Burnaby, BC, not Punjab, India.
They'd be cheered. Yeah.
Yes, they would be cheered because they're actually Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, Caster's rap. Apparently, the Bollywood Boys look like Trudeau doing blackface. Yeah, okay, Caster. Okay. Reaching. And they look like two bitches and they're dominatrix. Okay, Caster, your raps. One positive thing is it lets me know and be grateful for it. Good rap when I hear it, such as that done by Kevin Bennett. Fortunately, Tony notes the Bollywood Boys trained with the Harts, but then the Acclaim dominates the match early, taking out all three guys, landing scissor me timbers on Gurv. The Blade ambushes Max. They celebrate, and the heels take over. They beat on Max and spend some time dancing. Max makes the hot tag eventually to Bowens, though, who goes nuts on all three, hitting a famous arm one of the Bollywood Boys. It's a slam by Billy, mic drop by Caster, and it's the three.
Yeah, I mean, this match was like a by the numbers match. It's what I expected. I mean, really, it's what I expected. It was good. It was serviceable. Nothing really terrible about it. Like everyone just did their part. It was quick. It wasn't too long. Though it did have a commercial break in between. But yeah, I mean, I gave it my number 4 spot. I thought it was okay. I thought it was fine.
This made my number 5 spot.
Okay.
It was serviceable. Nothing special. There wasn't a single move in it. I went, wow.
Yeah.
It was just serviceable move after serviceable move, some scissoring, dancing, whatever. It was fine. I didn't hate it. It was just a match. But then we get Harley Cameron on the screen, and she wants what she deserves. And she made a video that she will show next week to show the world what real talent is. And that will make the Acclaimed peanut butter and jealous.
And she's still going after Anthony Bowens.
Yes. Billy Gunn gets the mic, and he tells Harley to suck it. And look, Krishna, again, positivity night. This is an excellent nostalgic reminder yet again. I can recall times in grade 1 when yelling these kind of insults was what grade 1 children do.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the fans seem to like it. Like they everyone loves the Acclaimed, right? I mean, they were going nuts for it. So hey,
by calling back to one of the worst factions in wrestling history, DX.
Hey, DX has a huge fan base. Maybe there are a lot of DX fans in the audience.
You know what? This is true. Like I understand, and it makes me appreciate the fact that I just have an odd sense of humor. It doesn't really fit in well. I don't find that funny. I don't find The Rock funny. My wife's favorite comedy movie is The Ridiculous Six. I can sit straight faced through the whole movie. I don't get it. But put on like season 5 Simpsons and I'm dying in my chair. So, there's something for everyone in AEW. And if you like grade 1 toilet humor, there's something here for you too. That was pretty positive, right?
Something for everyone.
That's something for everyone. Right? Exactly. See, that's positivity. It's positivity night, guys. They note that Eddie Kingston won the New Japan Strong Championship. And they note that it's his life's work in pro wrestling. His dream's been achieved. And then they mention his relationship with Jon Moxley. And that cuts us to the Jon Moxley segment for the night. It was a pre-tape. And he says, Eddie, we're the same people we were in 2009 when we met. We made it out of the good and the bad. We both got what we wanted. What is there to be mad about? We don't live in the past. I don't understand why you complain about the new generation of wrestlers so much. We built that generation. I had a dream of an Eddie Kingston becoming what he could be, what these people want him to be, but that didn't happen. Eddie, answer your phone. That was it.
Interesting ending. I was like, does this have anything to do with Eddie Kingston winning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about this. Like Eddie, answer your phone, because remember, Renee told Eddie to fix it. She was
Mm-hmm.
done with us. This garbage. And now John is reaching out to him.
Mm-hmm.
Curious. I'm curious about where this is going.
Which tells me neither one of them watches the New Japan product because they would know Eddie will not be home for a few
Yeah,
months.
exactly.
So, then we get Renee in the back with Matt and RJ City. And they're determining Matt's partner, Matt Hardy, that is, and RJ City. They're determining Matt's partner for the blind tag team tournament match on Rampage. And it turns out his partner is Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, the minute RJ said Jeff, I was like, oh my god, it's Jeff Jarrett
Yes.
and Matt Hardy. I like some of these teams. These teams are great. This is such a cool tournament drawing that they're having right now for this. Like I think this is fun. Yeah, we obviously the ones that are kind of like the obvious ones, like the
Mhm.
Darby Allins and stuff like that. I like these oddball combinations. These are the fun ones that I want to see, right? So Jeff Jarrett and and Matt Hardy. That's
Sure,
gonna be
why
cool.
not? Right?
Yeah,
Could be worse. Could be
could be worse.
worse. So, yes, I'll take it. Then we get a Wheeler Yuta video, and Yuta says Kenny's not going to walk through him. He's pinned Kenny before. This is not about beating Kenny. It's about ending Kenny.
Well, I mean, yeah, Yuta's stating facts. He pinned Kenny Omega.
Yep.
He
Good
beat
little
Kenny
video
Omega.
from him though.
Yeah,
Good little promo
yeah.
segment. So yeah.
I think Wheeler Yuta has all right to have that confidence right now.
Yes, yes. Chris Jericho then comes out. The commentators recap what happened last week with Sting tapping out Jericho. And Jericho says, over the last few months, he's had a lot of big losses. He's making a couple of changes. This is the perfect place. He talks about Calgary, and how he started in Calgary with Stu Hart. The audience boos and he
They
goes, "You're
booed.
seriously booing
Yeah,
Stu Hart?"
yeah.
And Tony goes, "They said Stu." Which yeah, that was good. And then, he was reminded driving around, around Alberta, where he started wrestling. It's everything to him. He's reinvigorated. It might be time to become his best version ever. But then Don Callis comes out, whose music is basically industrial machinery droning or something like that. Like someone was plugging their ears. So Callis says, "Look, I'm hearing you need a change, right?" And then they talk back and forth about like how each of them actually made it so the other would be here today, and trying to one up each other a bit. And Don goes, "Yeah, well, all that says though is that when we get together, we make history. But Kenny Omega betrayed me. He's building a family now based on trust. So he asked, well, meaning Don's building a family now based on trust. So Don asked Jericho to join the Don Callis family." And Jericho says he doesn't join factions, he creates them. But if you want me to join your faction, the answer is maybe. And he leaves.
Again, I thought it was funny when Jericho was like, "You guys are seriously booing Stu Hart." Come on. I didn't get it. Like, I didn't understand why they were booing them
Oh,
in
I
the first
can.
place.
Calgary. It's Edmonton. This is like talking about Ottawa and Toronto, or Toronto and
Yeah,
Ottawa.
but like Stu Hart,
I know, like they're idiots for booing Stu Hart. It's like,
that's the
did you not
dumbest.
notice
That's
that
so
Stu Hart was
stupid.
mentioned next to Calgary guys? Like
Yeah,
Stu
well,
Hart,
yeah.
boo
That's like,
Stu
yeah,
Hart.
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, good on Jericho would be like, "You guys are seriously booing Stu Hart." Okay. Don Callis has the most heat I've ever seen on someone. Like, my God, this guy can't even speak.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow, the booze rain
And they
down this
give him
guy.
that music.
Like, yeah, and you like right now, I'd say Don Callis has more heat than CM Punk in Canada, right? I think
Yes.
definitely. Um, interesting proposal. I'm not sure if I'm sold on this. Whatever Jericho's doing right now, I really do prefer him with his crew. We'll get to that soon. Um, I just it feels like I know the maybe thing Don Callis is a bad thing, but it almost felt like Chris Jericho was doing almost like a face turn on here. But I know it's Chris Jericho in Winnipeg, so obviously it's like people are gonna
Chris
cheer him, and
Jericho
he's
in Edmonton.
oh, sorry, Edmonton, sorry, and I get it that Canada's gonna cheer him, but I was like, really a a face turn? Because remember when he was in Toronto, he's like, "I'm not even from Toronto," right? When everyone's cheering him. I'm from Winnipeg, you idiots. And we obviously cheered that more. But I
Yes.
mean, like, I don't know how to feel about this. I want to see where it goes, but I'm like, I don't know if I actually do want to see a good Chris Jericho ever coming down the pipes.
I don't mind it because anytime Jericho reinvents himself, it always turns out well. I mean, there hasn't
True.
been a bad reinvention of Chris Jericho.
No, not recently
Um,
at all. You're right.
keep in mind that AEW has also hired Jeremy Borash, who was responsible for Jericho's list gimmick.
Ooh, that I like.
Yeah. Also responsible for some of the creative writing on the Broken Matt Hardy stories back in TNA.
That's
So
actually
yep. So he actually works for AEW now.
oh
So
nice.
yep.
I,
So yeah, there's
you
some
know,
there's oh sorry, go ahead.
one little tidbit like I just like that popped into my head recently. I want to say we mentioned it during our Forbidden Door review, but I don't know if we did. But when Daniel Bryan, when Bryan Danielson finally did his yes chant,
Mm-hmm.
it was quite the moment, right? So when you're saying like Jericho might be like reinventing himself and
Yeah.
this guy with the list is back, I'm like that's some pretty epic stuff that Jericho used to do. So you're right. You know what?
Yep.
It's Chris Jericho. Let's see what
Yep,
happens.
exactly. And I mean, it won't be the list stuff, but he's good at
Exactly.
reinvention. If he is the
Exactly.
master of character reinvention, right?
Hmm.
And you know what? He's not wrong that this may be time to move on from the JAS. The JAS were great.
Maybe.
They were great.
Yeah.
But recently, they haven't been doing a whole hell of a lot, right? And they've been kind of starting to go their separate ways a bit anyway. I mean, the team that's really going to lose out for this is like, 2.0 and Jake Hager, but I
Well,
think Garcia and
I
Guevara will be
feel
just
no,
fine.
Guevara's fine because Guevara's already going down this like face turn anyways,
Yeah.
right? My thing is Garcia, his gimmick is amazing, but
Yes.
it's the I'm a sports entertainer gimmick, right?
Yeah.
Do the sports entertainer gimmick fall apart if Jericho
Of
goes?
course not. He still knows Jericho taught him to be a sports entertainer, right? He can stay totally in that gimmick. I mean, he's like who Fandango wished he could have been, right?
That's true. That's very that's very true.
Yep. So yeah, anyway. No, I actually quite like this. I like the fact that he left with a maybe because it
Mhm.
leaves everything up in the air. A good cliffhanger is always good for a show. So we'll see what happens. Is he going good? Is he going bad? Maybe.
Hmm.
We will see. Then we get collision promotion videos. CM Punk, Samoa Joe, Starks, and Hobbs. The best line in it was Joe saying that he beat down Roderick Strong after the match because a true friend sends a message to warn you what could happen to you.
So Joe, he's so awesome. He's so cool.
Oh,
Oh
Samoa Joe's great. But CM Punk said he's going to win, and I kind of think he probably will.
yeah,
Oh,
like
well.
it's odd. I think he's gonna win this entire tournament. But anyways, we'll see.
Give it to Joe.
Yeah, I would love to see Samoa Joe in this tournament.
I know. Please, more Samoa Joe. We all want more Samoa Joe. Well, Renee's in the back getting a medical update on Roderick Strong. My very first thought was, why is Strong backstage at Dynamite if he's hurt? The doctors are checking out and he's wearing a neck brace. Why is he there?
He got hurt at Collision Saturday, but he's
Collision
there.
Saturday, so he made the trip to Edmonton to
or
get.
or you know, in non kayfabe, Collision that was taped on what was it? Was it Wednesday or no? Was it
Yeah, it was
taped
like
earlier,
Thursday.
right?
It was like
Thursday.
Thursday they
Yeah,
taped it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Thursday. So I'm like, so you for some reason are traveling around and just randomly getting your doctors are giving random updates to people ask.
I know it
Okay.
was pretty funny, but anyway, Renee asked the doc for an update. The doc says, "Well, we're making progress." And Strong goes, "I feel amazing." Cole comes in. Strong asks him what the deal with MJF is. Adam says, "Well, I have boundaries." Yep.
So you did see the clip from you of Adam Cole streaming, right? And what
No.
MJF did. So Adam Cole was streaming on his Chugs thing, and
Mm-hmm.
MJF actually called him during his stream, saying, "Hey, Cole, I was thinking we should like do this," and he kept saying we should do a double clothesline on the, and that's when Cole said, "I boundaries." Max boundaries. He's like, yeah, oh yeah, boundaries. He's like, so what are you doing? Streaming that nerd stuff? And he hung up on
Oh my God.
they actually carried this. Yeah, it was crazy. It was on Twitter this weekend. I was like,
Oh.
this is so cool, these two. But yeah, But so when he's saying boundaries, it's just adding to the
Oh,
entire
that's so good.
yeah,
See, Cole is in on this too. See, every guy needs his
boundaries,
straight man. I'm telling you, you will
boundaries.
learn to appreciate Adam Cole's role in this.
We'll see.
Yep. Well, that brings us to the match. MJF and Adam Cole taking on Daddy Magic and The Butcher in a blind eliminator tag team tournament quarterfinal match. The Butcher and Daddy Magic don't get an entrance.
Yep.
MJF participating in Cole's entrance was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Oh, I couldn't stop laughing. It's Adam Cole's birthday, the crowd tells us. Yeah. This match was all about MJF and Adam Cole's team, of course. Magic Meat, which is the name apparently that they have now dubbed Daddy Magic and The Butcher for their one-time appearance as a tag team, jumps MJF and Cole while they discuss the shirt Cole isn't wearing. But MJF gets the advantage on Daddy Magic pretty quickly, but Cole won't help MJF stretch Magic in an abdominal stretch, even though MJF gets the crowd to chant, "Do it, do it." So Adam Cole finally does it. But then, the Butcher eventually helps them get the heels get the advantage again. Magic Meat works over MJF in their corner, including an abdominal stretch where Daddy Magic quite happily helps out with the leverage. Menard tags in after MJF low blows the Butcher, does a stretch of his own, but MJF low blows him too. Finally makes the hot tag to Cole, who wrecks Menard, including Inushi Giroshi. MJF wants the double clothesline, but Cole hits the boom for the 3.
Yeah, no, this match was fun. I had fun with this match. Number 3 for me. Everything about the MJF and Cole tag team, like, okay, so Daddy Magic and Butcher seemed like a blind tag team like combination. It's like they're just randomly put together. We knew what was gonna happen. Fun match. Like I like it's MJF still his heel stuff he does like that. Yes. Like when he goes to kick Daddy Magic and he's like swinging and he just pokes him in the eye. I'm like such a clown. And I love the fact that Cole just takes the win. Cole's just like, I'm just like, tag me. That's double clothesline. You know what's gonna happen? They're gonna eventually do the double clothesline. Of course, right? It's but yeah, no, this match is fun. Number 3 for me.
Yeah, and I mean that's my whole point. Of course, Cole doesn't tag him for the double clothesline. He's got to keep playing straight man for now, right? That just makes us want the double clothesline more.
Double clothesline, and they're gonna win with that move. My God.
Of course they are. It's the double clothesline, man. Anyway, hey, MJF's won matches with the snapmare.
That's
right.
Very true.
Right.
Lock takedown.
Yep.
Right.
So then after the match, MJF gets a mic. He introduces both of them, and they're better than you, baby. But MJF notes that they would have done even better had they finished with the double clothesline. So he suggests they have some work to do, and he suggests another bro session. The fans immediately chant yes. So Cole agrees. He then wishes Cole a happy birthday, and streamers come down. People come down with cake and party hats. Cole looks slightly unimpressed as MJF puts a hat on him. Straight man. He then sings happy birthday to him. Not too bad, but Cole interrupts him and says, MJF did a pretty good job singing happy birthday a cappella. Cole then says, I appreciate all this. MJF's, no, make a wish. So MJF turns to the camera and goes, I'm going to put his face in the cake. Cole blows out the candle and puts MJF into the cake, reversing the attempt that MJF makes. MJF's laughing like this is the greatest bro moment ever. And Cole's like, listen to me. And I mean this sincerely. That was very nice of you. Thank you, my friend. And that was the end of the segment.
That was it. Exactly. Because he's growing on him now, right? So this is again, this team up, who I hope actually wins everything. This is great. This is great storytelling by AEW. It's not like anything here is like super new, right? But the way they're doing it, it's well done. So credit where credit's due. This is great storytelling.
Oh, these guys have great chemistry together. Yeah. This is something else, man. I'm like, it's I don't know. I'm really enjoying this a lot. This is good comedy.
Mm-hmm.
We have Renee in the back with Britt Baker, D.M.D, Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D. And Renee says, you faced Ruby. She said stuff. Got a reaction? And Britt says, she has a lot to say these days, but I don't care. She lied. She said she took everything from me, but she can't take my pride. I will always be the face of the division, and I will always be the first ever Owen Hart Foundation tournament winner.
all I heard there was when you said she lied. All I could think about it was in The Simpsons where Lisa was reading her poem to Homer, and she's
Mhm.
like, "I had a cat named Snowball. She died. She died. Mom said she was sleeping. She lied.
Lied.
She
She
lied."
lied.
So I was laughing in my head when you said that. Yeah, I mean, great. Britt's back. I really do think like they need to do more stuff with this women's division. I really do. Like all the focus is on the men right now. They really need to start telling some like legit stories. Like tell some stories here, right? I get it. There's a tournament. There's like 10 tournaments going on in AEW right now. So right. So I'm like, okay, great. Great. That's all I can say. It was fine. It was fine for me.
Yeah,
I was
it
like,
was
okay.
fine.
Yeah.
It was a decent promo. Renee with Jericho, Garcia, and Guevara now. And Garcia, yeah, what was that out there with thing? What do you mean maybe? We need you. And Jericho's like, we're still a family, but you need to branch out for yourselves at some point. And Renee informs Garcia and Guevara that they are a team in the tournament. That's a pretty damn awesome tag
That's
team.
an awesome team.
And Jericho goes, so you guys go do it on your own. Show me who the leader can be.
Yeah, no, this is great. This is the continuing this. Jericho's still kind of iffy. But listen, when Garcia was put, well, so when Guevara was put in charge of Garcia and they were that tag team, that was great. That was
Mhm.
great. So now it's kind of flipped where Garcia's embracing it, but Guevara's kind of like, I don't really want this. But no, they're those two together, fantastic.
Yep. Yeah, they should be a really great tag team.
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't mind this at all. I think it just showed more to me that the JAS is in fact breaking up.
They're breaking
So
up. Yeah,
yeah.
they're breaking up. Definitely.
So that gives us Dr. Britt Baker D.M.D taking on Ruby Soho in an Owen Hart Tournament Foundation quarterfinal match. They grapple back and forth early until Britt hits a sling blade, but Ruby plants her on the floor when the Outcast distract her. Ruby then dominates for quite a while with occasional help
Mhm.
from the outside until Britt fights out of a full Nelson and hits a series of forearms and a couple neckbreaker variations. They counter each other's big moves, but Ruby hits a Saito suplex for two. Baker goes for the lockjaw, but Saraya distracts the ref because that's most of the story is all the help
Mhm.
Ruby was getting from the other outcasts. Ruby smashes her into the Owen Hart Foundation title and hits the future shock, but Britt kicks out for a huge near fall. I thought that was the finish. Ruby goes for the lockjaw, but Britt counters into trying her own, but the Outcasts pull Ruby out. So she disposes of the Outcast, goes for the victory roll that she won the whole tournament with last year, but Ruby counters into her own, and Tony's arm reaches out, helps her hold Britt down. The ref doesn't see it. She pins Britt, advancing in the tournament.
I mean, the finish made sense. The finish made sense. Like, I guess Britt, her only friend is Jamie. Jamie's not there. Jamie's hurt, right? So it kind of makes sense. Like, hey, if it's a 3-on-1, which basically this was a 3-on-1, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. Like,
Mm-hmm.
eventually the shenanigans are gonna catch up, and you're gonna lose. Yes, you're right. The shot from the belt, I almost bit, but I knew she was gonna kick out because I'm like, no, this is too easy. She's gonna like it's kind of like a cliche finish, right? And I like the way they did it. Like Ruby does the same roll up kind of thing, rolls
Mm-hmm.
up Britt, and then uses leverage from Tony to actually do it. So again, at the end they cheated, but they're the bad guys. That's what they do, right? I mean, if you wanted a clean finish, they would have been kicked out. They would have kicked out those
Exactly.
right. So I mean, I didn't mind this. I mean, again, this and the trios match is it's like again not bad matches. Like they could be interchanged. I mean
Mm-hmm.
they could be 4 or 5, whatever. It doesn't really matter. um I just thought that the finish was good. There was a slight mess up in this match, and I don't know if you caught it. It was when they tried to give, I think Britt tried to give Ruby the, I don't know if it was a DDT or something like that,
Early
and
in the
she,
match.
yeah, you saw that, and she kind of
Yeah.
fell out of the ring. We'll talk about mess ups in the final match, but anyways, things that are not like you could tell when an actual mess up happens, and that was a mess up. They recovered from it, which is great. It looked like they were pulling Ruby out of the ring. But these women, they put on a good show. Like Ruby, and Britt have done this before. I think the right person won. To be completely honest with you, I think the right person won here. I think Ruby Soho, like these guys need a little bit of a push. Even though I know Tony Stormer is the champion, I get that, but like I like this. I like this because it kind of sets up the next match, who I kind of don't know who's going to win that match, to be completely honest with you, right? So there's a bit of intrigue there, because if it was Britt versus Sky Blue, you were like, okay, Britt's rolling over Sky Blue, right? But Sky's been getting a little bit of a push recently, so I don't know.
Yep. I don't know if Britt would roll over Sky Blue either these days. So
Maybe not. Well, that's
yeah.
it. Britt's been. But this is what I'm talking about. We need some stories going.
She's
here.
8-5 this year. You know, she's barely got a winning record. So
yeah.
You know, the
we'll talk about records soon, but yes.
right. The but yeah, no, the match was good. Actually, for me, it wasn't a contest between 4 and 5. This was a clear 4 to me. You know, I actually enjoyed this match. It was pretty damn decent, right? I mean, when they got the moves in the ring, it was good. The stuff outside all made sense to the match, right? I mean, it's I don't love a lot of interference, but that's how these people roll, right? They're like the Oedo Tai of AEW.
Who?
So Oedo Tai, you know,
is that
the greatest evil faction. Nope. No, I'm
the
not.
greatest evil faction?
The greatest evil faction in all of professional wrestling. No. That is correct.
No. I mean, well, I guess the Blackpool Combat Club are not evil. Yeah, they're not evil. They're kind of just Blackpool Combat Club. They're in their own like category.
Yeah, that's true. They're kind of neutral. They're more like a more vicious God's Eye.
Oh, what now? Like is that a move? God's Eye?
If you're not watching Stardom,
who now?
You're not really watching wrestling.
That's fair. That's a fair statement, actually. That is, I'm not gonna lie. I've heard that from many people.
Yes. By the way, did you catch the sign of the night during this match? Oh, there's 2 signs of the night tonight. This was sign of the night number 1.
Which one?
I floss for Britt.
No, I did not. I did not see that sign.
That sign was awesome. And I can guarantee you my wife, who's a dental hygienist, will 100% approve of that sign.
I floss for Britt. Nice.
I floss for Britt. Well, that brings us to our main event in the evening, and we were wrong. Well, you said it would be the main event, and I'm like, nah, they're not going to make this the main event. I was completely wrong. They, in fact, did make it the main event, and it deserved to be the main event because we got Kenny Omega, who should always be in the main event, versus Wheeler Yuta. Krishna, Yuta got his theme music.
I know. I loved it. I was happy. I was like, finally, my God. Play this guy's music. And he came up by himself.
He did. And then we get Battle Cry. I mean, oh my God, we get Battle Cry and Wheeler Yuta's theme music.
Imagine that. We get Battle Cry.
I know. Then we saw the second sign of the night. Proud to be a Kenny 80ian.
Okay, that one is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes. Is that not what you are from here on out?
I'm a Kenny 80ian. Yes.
Yeah. I figured immediately that's basically your sign.
Oh, before you continue, quick shout out to Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy. Like the camera panned with them after their match, and you see Darby actually going around and congratulating, talking to the fans, signing that one fan's like he took a picture with the kid. The kid had the Darby Allin face paint.
That kid, yeah.
He's such a nice guy. You can't hate this guy. So yeah, shout out to Darby Allin. That was really nice that they showed that.
Yeah, no, it's always cool when guys do stuff like that. So yeah, good job. I was probably busy editing notes. Okay, well, Yuta attacks before the bell because he's part of the Blackpool Combat Club, and that's how they roll. But Kenny comes back and takes control, stomps, chomps, backbreaker, Kataro Crusher. But when he goes for the you can't escape, it hurts his neck. And that's your story of the match, because he is nursing all the injuries he got in that match against Ospreay, especially the neck injury from the Tiger Driver 91.
Yep.
And Yuta notices this, but he stops the moonsault. Kenny still tries to get the moonsault, and you can't escape. Yuta stops with his knees and takes over. Missile drop kick, and then he does an Omega taunt tope, crashing Kenny's head into the barricade, and it begins a beatdown outside the ring to make the Blackpool Combat Club proud, and much to a screaming girl's discontent.
I know. I heard it. I was like, what is that noise?
I know. P.S. The picture of Willow Nightingale they put up to announce her match still had the New Japan Strong Women's Championship in it. That's Julia's belt.
Spoiler alert, Bill. Spoiler alert.
They talked about Eddie. I can talk about Julia.
You said spoilers for the previous for the beginning of the show.
But then AEW talked about them. So I can talk about them.
They did it.
Yes.
They did it.
But Yuta then taunts too long in the ring, and they fight on the apron, but Yuta targets the neck again, shoving Kenny's neck into an exposed turnbuckle fastener, then a neck breaker into it, starting another outside of the ring beating. Back in the ring, keeps working the neck. That's the story, right? Kenny finally fights out, axe handles, fisherman buster for a near fall. Yuta reverses the V trigger, though, hits a back suplex. Kenny catches Yuta on the turnbuckles, though, and hits a leg cross superplex. I mean, this match was great. They start going back more with the bigger moves now. They've ramped it up. Yuta hits reverses a lariat into a German, hits another German. Yuta caught him at one point, but then Omega hits a back V trigger, two snapdragons, goes for a third, but Yuta rolls him up for two, but then gets nailed with the V trigger. But then Yuta reverses the one winged angel into a seatbelt for two, but doesn't get it locked in all the way. But Kenny hits a power bomb and a V trigger for two. Don Callis comes down, security holds him back. And while the ref's distracted, Takeshita nails the blue thunder bomb on Kenny. Yuta hits the top rope diving splash for two. Yuta goes up again. Kenny catches him, one winged angel, and it's the three.
Yeah, I bit. I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna give Yuta another win over Kenny Omega. This is crazy because they mentioned the whole Kenny's 0-2 in the last couple matches. He's never lost back-to-back matches. They said. I was like, wow, that's crazy. He's also lost to Yuta before, right? I mean, that was one of the things. So I was like, oh my god, are they gonna go 0-3 on Kenny Omega? That's insane. In Edmonton, like in Canada, they're gonna go like 0-3, but he kicks out. Like when Takeshita showed up, this guy looks like an assassin, man. Like every time I see him now in that black coat, I'm like, oh my god, you look so cool. You look so badass. This is the Takeshita I want to see. Like I'm not gonna assume I'm not gonna assume. I'm going to assume that Takeshita and Kenny Omega is happening very shortly. Like that match is coming very, very shortly. Kind of jealous that somewhere else in Canada besides Toronto gets it, but hey, whatever. Yeah, like I thought he was gonna lose, and he pulls it out. The storytelling. Remember, I was talking about the little mix up, like when he hits the you can't escape, and then he like kind of slips. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh my god, his neck. I totally forgot, right? And then he kind of has to recover. He still tries to complete. And I'm like, this guy is so awesome. Like he's so cool. And kudos to Yuta. Holy crap. He worked that neck. Anything he could do to that neck, taking off the top rope thing, and he's like just smashing his neck into it, doing those neck busters and stuff like that. By the way, that move that Kenny did, the one off the top rope, this the avalanche, whatever.
I called it a leg trap suplex.
Yeah, he does that in the game. That's FYI. That's what he does. Yeah,
it probably has a name that I'm unaware of.
Yeah, there's a move. They called something too, and I just could not remember what it was called. But he does that fisherman something like I don't know what he was talking about. But he does that.
Really a fisherman though. The leg was crossed the other way. Weird.
Yeah,
anyway.
I don't know, but like he does it in the game exactly the same. That's why when I saw him go to the top room, wait, is he crossing the leg in? Oh my god, this is what he does in the game. I'm literally watching. I'm like, okay, he does that move. He does that move. He does that move. I'm like, holy crap, they actually did a good job of capturing the movesets. So when I saw him do that, I was like, okay, he killed Yuta. My god. But again, he's falling from the top. He's hurting his neck. Like this is just like fantastic storytelling because they're like Kenny Omega's fine. This is my thoughts. Kenny Omega's totally fine. But they know what everyone's been complaining about, right? And what do? They draw attention right to it. Hey, you guys think it's a big issue? Sure. It's a big issue for us, right? And perfect storytelling. And Yuta did a great job in this match. I thought he played the Blackpool Combat Club like the little crap that they call him, whatever, perfectly. I like these young guys getting this push. I really do. I like the thing about a main event, Kenny Omega, like what else do you want, right?
He feels like he actually kind of belongs there now, right? He's not quite like at the absolute elite main event level.
No,
but he's only a small step below it. He's the kind of guy that at some point is going to be in that picture.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was just thinking like 2 years ago, if you'd said Wheeler Yuta, Kenny Omega main eventing Dynamite, you'd be like, the guy with the best friends.
Yeah. The guy who gets beaten up by the best friends and choked out by Chris Statlander.
Yeah,
all the time.
Exactly. Yeah, that guy. Yeah. But no, now he's putting on matches like this against Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
So yeah, one, Kenny Omega, what more can you say? His selling is phenomenal.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
ability to like work that kind of an injury angle continuously, work as though he's hurt, come back, all that stuff, right? Facial expressions, everything, just great. Yuta, he played his role to perfection too. The moves in this match were great.
They're great.
I mean,
They were.
really, really solid match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have given it 4.25.
Yeah, my match of the night easily.
Yep.
I
Oh yeah,
mean,
easily my
called
match of
it.
the
Yeah.
night too. Yeah, love Takeshita, like you said.
Hmm.
And then I don't know how much of this made it on screen because it
Okay.
was kind of weird the way my feed went out. So
Okay.
Claudio and Takeshita jump Kenny after the match. Bucks and
Yep.
Hangman come in for the save with chairs. There's a
Hmm.
BTE trigger on Claudio. The Dark Order runs in and stops Hangman from hitting Claudio with a chair. Then the
And then it
Elite
cut. Then the TV feed cut.
Oh, mine didn't. The Elite check on Kenny. Okay, so they're over there with Kenny. Takeshita's milling around on the outside. Claudia goes over and starts checking on Yuta. Finally, after they're working on Kenny for a while, Carry On Wayward Son starts to play, and they announce it's over. Then my feed went out.
Oh, yeah. It cut literally right when Hangman is about to smash Claudio, and the Dark Order ran in and grabbed the chair.
Mhm.
It cut.
Oh,
That's where it
well, the
cut.
Dark Order took the chair and left the ring. Okay. And then we're jawing at the Elite and just backed up the ramp again.
Interesting.
That was it. That was it.
Interesting finish.
Yep.
Well, I said when Kenny was getting beaten down, I was like, hey, Elite, where the heck are you guys? Like, this guy's getting stomped out here. And then they finally showed up. I'm like, because I was like, wait, where are Kenny's friends exactly, right? Taking so goddamn long to come down. Yeah, they came down for the save. Like they announced a rematch for the Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite's happening on Rampage. So yeah, it's happening.
Yep.
But that's a weird finish. They just take the chair. So like why would you save the Blackpool Combat Club?
I don't know, because
unless it's they're trying to stop Hangman from doing something Hangman wouldn't do. I don't know if Hangman wouldn't do that, but I don't know.
That's more what it seemed like to me. They took the chair, and then I mean, Hangman just like beat the crap out of Claudio anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, it didn't matter. It didn't stop him from beating him up. It just stopped him from hitting him in the head with a chair. So I don't know.
Finish, yeah.
And then there was just Takeshita hanging around outside for whatever reason. I don't know, but yeah,
my
I had a feeling.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I had a feeling the feed was cut before that because I'm like, this seems like they've gone really slow all of a sudden. Like people are starting to mill around a little.
Yeah, because my thought was that when it cut, I'm like, oh my god, did the Dark Order just smash Hangman with a chair? Right? Because we didn't know. It just cut.
No.
I was like,
they did not.
Okay.
They just left. Sorry, man. Your feed cut was far more dramatic than mine. Mine ended with Carry On Wayward Son and people milling around. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that was Dynamite. Anything on this Dynamite reach the Omega level?
No, I wouldn't say anything reached the Omega level on this show. Though we've been spoiled recently a lot with like Omega level stuff. So no, nothing really reached the Omega level on the show. But I mean, that's not to say that it had some fantastic matches. And Yuta and Omega just knocked it out of the park. So
yes, no, they did. That was a great match. But you're right, we have been spoiled very recently. I mean, Omega and Ospreay. You know, we had Forbidden Door. We had such great matches at the Smash event. Utami Hayashishita winning the cage match. I mean, that was something else. So yeah, and I still have this coming week to look forward to, the Natsupoi versus Soriano strap match. It came on the pay-per-view this weekend.
What is that? What is like are they
tied up? Two people strapped together. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, like that. Yep. They're having a strap match. So we'll see how that works out. Anyway, that doesn't happen too often in Stardom either. So very interesting, but they've come to blows. But that has nothing to do with tonight's Dynamite, but I always get my Stardom plugs in. So, you know, it's just the way it rolls, people. It's just the way it rolls. But no, nothing on the Omega level. So yeah, but that doesn't mean anything to take away
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
fact it was a
yeah.
good Dynamite. I enjoyed myself. The MJF Adam Cole stuff, great.
Great.
Omega Yuta, awesome match. You know, rest of the matches, good,
Yeah.
good.
Like watching Keith and Keith Lee and Swerve together again was fun. And yeah,
Even though they
I
never
mean,
got along.
yeah, I know. I know.
Oh
Can't we all
well,
just get along?
I know, I know. Big hugs, guys. Big hugs. Just no scissoring. Anyway, that does though bring tonight's edition of AEW Dynamite reviewing by us to an end. And as the great one who stands victorious in the ring tonight, all well kind of lies after being beaten up by the Blackpool Combat Club, but eventually stood up,
Kind of, yeah.
says, goodbye, everybody, mwah, and good night. Bang.
Good night, everyone.